A very good morning everyone. So today I will be presenting my journal titled The Potential Use of Glycosyl-transferase Inhibitors for Targeted Reduction of Streptococcus mutans biofilms in Dental Materials. So this article was published in the journal Scientific Reports, which has an impact from factor 14.9 in the year 2023. So the terminologies we'll have to know before moving on is like the glycosyl-transferase, GTS. They are bacterial enzymes that synthesize the glucans from sucrose. So they are the key virulence factors for Streptococcus mutans. So we have EPS, that is extracellular polymeric substance. So it is a matrix of biofilm which is primarily composed of polysaccharides that provides a structural integrity and protection for the species. And dysbiosis is the microbial imbalance. And lead compound G43, it is a very promising initial molecule that is identified from screening that shows desired biological activity, that is, it has GTF inhibition. And derivatization, it is a chemical process of modifying a compound structure to create new analogs or derivatives with potentially improved properties. And TEG is tetraethylene glycol, which is a flexible hydrophilic polymer chain which is used as a linker or as a spacer to connect the active compound to the surface. And IC50, it is the half maximal inhibitory concentration, that is the measure of a compound's potency. And we have Km, that is the Michaelis constant, that is the substrate concentration at which the reaction rate is half of the Vmax. It is a measure of the enzyme's affinity for its substrate. And we have uncompetitive inhibition, where it is a type of enzyme inhibition where the inhibitor binds only to the enzyme substrate complex, describing both the Vmax and the Km itself. Km is the Michaelis constant. So the novelty of this specific study is that it has a targeted anti-virulence approach. So it shifted from broad spectrum killing to specifically inhibiting the EPSU of this Streptococcus mutant species without affecting the bacterial viability. So this study also had a material integration design where the molecule was engineered with a linker or the spacer for future covalent bonding into the dental polymers, which always creates a always-on surface for the molecules to bind to. And it also has a deep mechanistic analysis where it moves beyond the simple biomass measurement to analyze the polysaccharide composition and to enzyme inhibition kinetics. So the aim of their study was to develop a targeted strategy for reducing the S-mutants biofilms on dental materials by designing a surface functionalized inhibitors of GTF. So the objective was to synthesize and characterize a series of G43 derived molecules with methoxy or tetraethyl glycol TEG substitutions at specific sites. So also to evaluate the impact of that derivatives on Streptococcus mutans biofilm formation viability and the EPS production of it, and to identify a lead candidate suitable for future covalent incorporation into the polymer surfaces and to characterize the mechanism of GTF enzyme inhibition. So this methodology, it was robust and it employed a very wide array of techniques to answer all the research questions comprehensively. So first we began with compound synthesis, where the G43 derivatives were synthesized, purified and characterized using NMR and IR spectroscopy. So they also carried out biological assays like luciferase assay, which measured the bacterial metabolic activity or viability. And they did the crystal violet assay, which quantified the total biofilm biomass. And thirdly, they did the phenol sulfuric assay, which quantified the water insoluble EPS content, which is present in S-mutants. And GCMS linkage analysis was done to determine the ratio of the alpha-1,3 insoluble and alpha-1,6 insoluble glucan which is present in the EPS. spectroscopy imaging. They use confocal laser scanning microscope to visualize and quantify the 3D biofilm structure, that is bacteria versus the EPS and its thickness. So enzyme studies are also carried out like gel thermography, where they semi-quantitatively assess the GTF enzyme activity in the presence of inhibitors, and they also proceeded with enzyme kinematics, where they use dynamic light scattering DLS to measure the glucan polymerization, and a fluorometric assay with PNPG to measure the hydrolytic activity. And there is also alert calculation of this IC50, the Km, which is the Michaelis constant, and the Vmax. So statistical analysis was done. So data was analyzed for normality and equal variance using this Bartlett or Levine test, followed by one-way ANOVA and Turkish post-hoc for multiple comparisons. So the results were that there was viability. The derivative was not affected by bacterial viability. So luciferase assay confirmed that. It also confirmed the antivirulence using the it had this non-bactericidal activity, and there is this biofilm biomass where the parent G43 was most effective at reducing the biomass. So among all the derivatives, only this G43C3PG and this methylene showed the significant reduction. So this was demonstrated using the crystal violet assay they made, and EPS production in all derivatives except the OME, it significantly reduced the insoluble EPS production. So with the TEG being effective, so there is a linkage of this EPS composition by itself. So this TEG was increased in the ratio of insoluble to soluble elutions, while only the methoxy derivative had the opposite effect, similar to the GTF knockout strain. So that the biofilm architecture was also studied, where the G43 and the TEG significantly reduced the biofilm thickness and the EPS bacterial coverage when compared to the control species. And enzyme inhibition was also studied. The results revealed that thermography showed approximately 10 to 27% inhibition of the GTF activity by TEG, and kinetics showed that it had an IC50 of 23.5 micro-m against the GTFC, which was compared similar to the G43 values. So it also had a decreased Vmax for both the GT F, B strain and the C, which suggests an uncompetitive inhibition mode. Moving on to discussion. So the TEG linker success, the tech derivative, it retained the antibiofilm activity while the methoxy substitutes failed. So this is attributed to improvised solubility, so which is not just a spacer effect. So this had a novel mechanism. The kinetic data suggested uncompetitive inhibition as said before, meaning that the competitive compound, it binds the enzyme substrate complex, so which reduces its maximum activity, that is the Vmax. The honest limitation is that the high potency of the parent G43, it may be partly due to the non-specific aggregation, which can be a very common artifact. So this makes this soluble tech a more reliable candidate. So it also has a structural impact where the compound successfully disrupted the biofilm architecture and reduced the critical structural component, that is the water insoluble proteins. So it has a very clear path forward where this tech is identified as the lead candidate for the next step, that is covalent attachment to a dental polymer surface. So the strength of this study is that it has a comprehensive multi-step approach where it only did not rely on a very single readout. So it combines viability, biomass, EPS quantification and compositional analysis plus enzyme kinetics, which has built a robust case for this compound's activity. So this also has excellent experimental controls. So they use GTF knockout strain as a negative control and testing TEG EEG alone to rule out the surfactant effects significantly. So this strengthens the validity of all the conclusions which are put forth. And we also have the clear clinical translation pathway where the entire study was actually logically designed with a clear-cut end goal. That is the material functionalization, which was the aim, and it makes the research highly applied and relevant. The limitation is that it is a simplified model where the efficacy was only tested against Streptococcus mutans in a single species biofilm, and it is not relevant to multi-species environment. Solution-based testing. So this anti-biofilm effect was demonstrated with a compound which is dissolved in a solution. It is not tethered to a material surface, so it does not have a clear specificity. So there is uncompetitive inhibition which is seen. So this suggests a potentially non-specific mechanism which may affect the off-target enzymes. So the future direction of this could be the surface functionalization, where incorporation of the lead derivatives into a dental resin, and we can test the anti-biofilm efficacy having that as a functionalized material. So they can also do complex model validation to evaluate that functional material against a multi-species biofilm and in an animal Caries model. That can also be done. So the potency and the mechanism can also be checked. So they can design more potent inhibitors, and they can use structural biology to definitely identify the binding site and mechanism of action. So to conclude, the lead candidate was identified. So TEG was validated. It had a non-bactericidal lead compound that reduces the biofilm by targeting the glycosyl-transferases and disrupting the EPS matrix. And the proof of concept was achieved. So this study proved that adding a TEG linker or a spacer to this G4T scaffold, it preserves the bioactivity for material integration. So this study has a foundation for future materials. So this provides the foundational strategy for developing dental resin with covalently attached targeted antimicrobial surfaces. So moving on to this critical appraisal checklist, where this is a hybrid checklist which has a blend of scope and omics reporting guidelines. So the title and abstract, introduction, the materials, methods, and the biofilm assays were all well documented. The advanced techniques, enzyme kinetics, variables, the data sources were all documented very well. But there is a bias control where they didn't mention the blinding during the analysis. So during the image analysis or the densitometry. Otherwise, the statistical test results, discussion and conclusion are all documented well. Thank you.